Hello everyone. This video is going to cover basics of drawing leaves. L-E-A-V-E-S. L-E-A-V-E-S. Leaves, okay. They fall from trees, all right? So in your sketchbook, we're gonna try to draw, just start off with 10 different types of leaves. And you can look online for references. Go outside your backyard for reference as well if you want. So let's see here. I'm going to start off this one leaf. And I want you to start off with pencil. So I suggest going with bigger shapes first. Just notice the thick and thin of the leaves. Okay, now I have the basic shape that I'm going to go in and try to draw the detail of the leaves, the design of the leaf. There's curved shapes. Some lines are a little bit straight. Sometimes some of them are a little bit longer. And it's all kind of like variations, smaller, larger. You can turn your paper. There we go, there's our first leaf. Let's look for another reference here. Start with the line. Another leaf. Let's find another reference here. And I'm looking for leaves that are interesting to me, but trying to get a variety of different shapes and forms. I think that's what makes this. See, this one's rounded on the bottom, goes up, tapers into a point. Then we're going to draw the negative space. There's the negative space of the. See where the lines begin and where they end. Find another leaf. Just explore. Ooh, that's an interesting one. So this one is more spiky. Starts off with stem here. And has all these tiny little leaves, narrow leaves. There we go. And you're starting off with pencil. Okay, let's keep going here. Let's find some. Ooh, there's a ginkgo leaf. Let's try to draw that ginkgo leaf here. Ginkgo leaf has like a fan-like shape and form. some other leaves here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have 5 different leaves here. Let's see here. Let's find another leaf here. This one's a little more complex. I'm going to start off with the spine. And then on each side, I'm going to try my best to draw the shape of it. I think it's a maple leaf. Maybe an oak, not sure. So that's one side of the leaf here. And then the other side I'm going to draw kind of like the copy of that. There we go. And if I want to do some details within the leaf, I can see. These little veins within the leaf. Let's try to draw some of that detail. They kind of branch off from the main line, moving outwards towards the extremities of the leaf. Here's a teardrop, just a rounded, simple leaf. Rhythm. Notice the repetition of shapes and forms. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Let's see here. Let's find some more leaves. Something that's a little different. Oh, here we go. Yeah, that'll work. That looks good here. This one, I'm going to turn the paper here. So I'm going to draw the spine, and then from there I'm going to draw one leaf here, and then move down a little bit, and then draw these little leaves coming from the side. One pair. Here's another pair right here. 2, and then let's finish out with repetition. Use a little bit of straighter line moving out. Drawing these leaves will help you draw organic shapes, and also later on when we draw the human figure, it helps to understand these leaves because it can help you draw muscles. There we go. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 2 more. Let me type in, what does an oak leaf look like? Here we go. There's an oak leaf. And let's turn it sideways here. Let's see. And this one I'm just going to kind of draw the contour. Very asymmetrical pattern here. Kind of meanders up the side of the leaf. Little veins branching off. Larger to smaller. Okay, I think we have one more leaf to go, and I'm going to type in I want to find a tiny leaf. Small leaf, tiny leaf. Hmm. How about I'm going to type in tropical leaves. See if we get some interesting TR. All right, nice. Here's some interesting tropical leaves. Here we go. Let's try drawing this here. I think I have some space right over here. Almost like a feather-like shape. So there's my leaf, and then what I'm going to do is cut into the leaf these little triangles, and that divides up or shows the segmentation of the leaf. All right, there we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Good. All right. So now I want you to take out your pen. It can be a roller ball or ballpoint pen, doesn't matter. But I want you to try to outline your leaf. And we're just trying to make the leaf stand out a little bit more. There you go, that stands out a little bit more. So I'm going to choose 5 of these to draw out. Notice how the leaves stand out, a little more contrast. And on this one, I'm going to make the outside of the leaf a little bit bolder. So I'm going to double up that line and thicken up that line. So notice how it really jumps out at you because of the thickness of the line and the contrast. So I want you to try to vary your thickness of your lines. Because if you use the same line over and over again, it's kind of flat and boring. So you want to create some contrast and boldness in your drawings. And it can be leaves, it can be your other subject matter, but just understand how just increasing the thickness of your line can draw people's attention to a certain area. And it can be tapered. So I can start off thin and then go thicker and go back to thin. All right, for the center lines here, I'm just going to keep it fairly thin. There we go. So that one's done. Look how much bolder that is compared to this one over here. Okay, maybe one more here. Let's try this one. All right. Okay, so that's a demonstration of inking, and now I want to show you with several of these. I want to make. I start off with line, but now I just want to block in or shade in the leaf just with one value. And in another video, we created this value scale, 5 square value scale of light to dark. Lights and darks variations, and for this one choose a number 2, and just as an exercise for shading, I just want to shade in the whole thing, each of the leaf, and I want them to stand out by using this shading technique. Just very simple shading. Just don't keep it as line, but adding light and dark. And we're starting off with just shading the whole thing in. Look at that. So it's much more bolder. Some people, by shading in your shapes and objects, instead of just using a line, it's easier for them to capture proportion or the accuracy of your shapes. Kind of scumbling, going over areas with lights and darks, lights and darks. Take your time, breathe. Yeah, focus and put your time and attention into just a basic gray, just a gray. There we go. We just shaded this in. Nothing fancy, just kind of like a gray. All right, now if I want to make this leaf a little bit more interesting, what I can do is from the center where all the leaves kind of move out from, I'm going to make it a little bit darker. I'm just going to sweep out from the center into, and that'll give it a little more dimension, a little more contrast. It's really your choice whether you want to add that dark area for contrast in your piece, in your drawing. Look at that. What do you think, guys? Does that make that a little bit more dramatic, where you go from one dark to another light gray? There we go. So if I take my eraser, I can go in the center of the leaf, kind of move into that gray area, pull out some of the reflections or highlights. And then finish off by, oops, my pencil's getting really dull. Outlining the outside of your leaf. I'm going to go to this leaf over here. I'm just going to apply one gray throughout the whole thing. Turn the paper. I'm going to take my homemade blending stump. It's just basically rolled up paper, just rolled up, and I tape it to keep it together. And what I'm going to do is just to add a little more texture and soften up the gray. There we go. Let's see, what else can we do here? What other material do I have here? Some crayons here. Bring in a darker red here. And I'm going to keep it mostly warm colors, fall colors. See, I need an orange. Get a bright orange in there. See what that looks like. Now, let's see if that blending stump will help to blend in this crayon here. Smooth it out a little bit. What do fall colored leaves look like? Let's put a little pop of green in there just to show the faded green within the leaf. Green, 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 green. Let's get a little bit deeper green in there. Let's see, one more thing in this. I'm just gonna put a gray. This is a gray crayon, and I'm gonna put it around the leaf itself. And what's the purpose of that? Well, when you have like a little bit of a neutral gray in the background, the colors tend to, they pop a little bit more, and it makes it, the highlights, these little white areas on the leaf, they tend to stand out, the lighter areas, because of the background being a little bit darker, more tonal. So it's a subtle thing, but let's see if it looks good. It's not too bad. There we go. There's our study of leaves. I'm going to continue and add to this, but just to demonstrate getting used to the shapes, the forms. Continue to practice your understanding of the details, the structure of the leaf, the rhythm of the leaf. And again, this will help you so much when you're drawing animals, other living things, the human body, the muscles, but just making distinctions between different things in the world, different objects and shapes and forms, and how to make things more subtle and more bold. Higher contrast of light and dark, contrast of color, similarity of color. Maybe one last thing here is to show, let's just blend this down a little bit, make it more subtle. Using different materials. Experiment. See what happens when you try different things. Don't be afraid of experimenting. Having fun. Try a blue ink pen here. I'll use like a dots and dashes, dots and dashes, lines and little dots. go. All right, so I think we got a good variety.